Hello. Before you made yourself a street or you made yourself a mandatory street advisor, please, do you also listen to advice? I do not have a problem when people have made themselves available to advise others or made themselves a street advisor or made it mandatory to become a street advisor to other people. I do not have a problem with that. What I have a little problem with is, do you also listen to advice when they give it to you? When you are being advised, do you also listen? Before you go on the street advising people that need no advice, that they really care less about what you have to say. Advice is good. I'm not neglecting that. But my darling, before you advise you or a lady of her singlet or her breast part is showing on one side and she doesn't put her trousers very well properly and she doesn't do that, before you find fault in people, before you advise people on the street, my brother, you cannot be sagging at the same time you are 40 years or you are 30, 25 years, sagging, then advising a girl or a lady that her breast is open. For my own knowledge, you guys are best of the same feather. You have no business advising such people because you are doing the same thing. Yes. Put yourself in a proper position most of the time before you advise people. And advise people that need your advice. We all need advice. I'm not saying that, I'm not disputing the fact. No. But make sure you that go on the street, you that have made yourself a street or mandatory, a street advisor, make sure you put yourself in a proper position before you are advising people. Because if we flip it around and ask people to advise you, they will advise you on 100 things in your appearance. So because of that, you have to also put yourself in a proper position before you advise people to avoid embarrassment. Because you can't be sagging on the street advising a lady that her breast is open. You are both the same. You are always finding fault in people, what they do and what they don't do good. Oh, and brother, you smoke too much. I'm not saying smoking too much is good though. Brother, your leg is bent. Brother, look at your face, a lot of pimples. And Dana, you are always looking for something to advise people with. Have you taken a look at yourself? Have you checked yourself in the mirror lately? Are you in a good position to advise people? I'm not saying you should be everything before you advise, no. But advice when it's needed. Give advice when it's needed. Don't make it look as if it's not mandatory. It's not your position to advise everyone on the street when you are looking unkept. And your trouser is showing at 40. And your boxers is showing at 40. And you don't have you don't have your belt on. Are you being serious? Like I said, I have no problem you advising people. But do you take the advice when somebody walk out to you and say, brother, why are you sagging? Do you take it? Are you flexible in taking what you dish out to people? This is one. Because people dish a lot of nonsense out. And they don't take just a little bit of that nonsense. Do you? Do you take that advice if someone advises you? The same advice you give to the street even when they don't need it. Do you? And sometimes, how do you give this advice? Do you embarrass people giving advice? Or do you politely give advice? That's a topic for another day. Thank you so much, my people. Before you give advice, put yourself in a proper position to avoid embarrassment. And do you also take the same advice? Are you learned? Are you flexible? And your advice, is it polite or rough? Thank you so much.